And if you really stop and think about that, and think about going back there to that little town in Iowa 4 years from now, I want you to really think about what you have heard at every one of those Republican debates. Hours of our life we will never get back, and out of all of that baloney that you've heard there, have you heard one single economic idea that is anything other than going back to the bad old days of George W. Bush? Have you heard one new idea from them? Not one. And when you really look at a president who is out there investing in getting workers trained, in getting the innovation economy moving forward, and all the other work he's done every bit of that work against a Republican Party that said their number one job was not to solve any of those problems. So what we want to do is to get you as organized as possible. And as you look around the room here, and you see these different signs from the different states here, you're pretty smart folks. You can read, you'll find your state up there. The idea here is that we're going to ask you at the end of this film to walk over to each of these places and meet some of our organizers who are really remarkable. I'm going to introduce them at the end of the film as we ask you to go to that. But I want you to get in touch with them because we're local officials and we understand how local politics go, and all politics are local. And you know, this is not a spectator sport. It would be really fun if all we had to do was to sit on the couch and pop the popcorn and say, well, Barack should have said it this way or that way, or maybe the DNC or the Democratic Party should do this and that. Hold up a mirror, ladies and gentlemen, because we are the Democratic Party, and we're going to have to win this election because Barack Obama did not win the last election. And he would be the first to tell you that. You won the last election. The last election, the greatest grassroots effort in the history of American politics, was won because people like you looked at people and got people who you knew would vote to the polls, but also talked to people who weren't likely. And you convinced them and you moved them forward, and that was really wonderful. People like Mayor Frank Ortis of Pembroke Pines down there. I mean, a guy who's been working in the trenches for years, doing great work. That's exactly what it really takes to get it done. So what we're going to ask you to do is do exactly what you did last time, because that's exactly what we have to do. Now, the good news is the greatest grassroots effort in the history of American politics is about to be outpaced by the greatest grassroots effort in the history of American politics. It is unbelievable how organized this campaign has gotten. We have some great online tools for you. We want you to all go to barackobama.com/truth-team. And the Truth Team sends you those rapid response pieces of information that you can get out quickly to folks, and that's going to be a big part of it. We are also going to get you organized with your regional director and get these groups organized. We are also going to have the Democratic Mayors Group and the Democratic Municipal Officials Group woven together. The DNC has never been more focused on local officials, and we're going to ask you to do all of those things. But the good news is I believe we can look out a few years from now and see that all the tough things that we have gone through and this incredible road that we have traveled on is one that is worth it, but it is worth fighting for, because I tell you, I listened to those debates, and people ask me, gee, are we going to be able to mobilize our base this year? And I just say, all you have to do is watch those debates, because boy, I do not want to go back to the past. But to give you a sense of the past, I want to now show you the video. Are we ready for this now, guys? Okay. So what we want you to do is we're going to see the video, and then please don't walk out of the room, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to ask you to do a couple things. But if you would now, you are the first to see this little preview that's coming out in a couple weeks. But ladies and gentlemen, the road we've traveled. Because of the work of this president, because of the work of Democrats in Congress, because of the work of local officials like you, there are cops on our streets, firefighters on our streets, teachers in our classrooms, 30 million more people with health care. Women can work for equal pay. Two people who love each other can serve in the military without trying to hide their sexual orientation. There is clean energy legislation, and there is so much more, and the best news is the best is yet to come. This is worth fighting for. Are you ready to fight and win this election? All right, well, let's go get them. Here's what we're going to do. When this meeting ends, we're going to do a very quick organizing, but I'm going to ask every one of you to meet your regional organizer. Let's start over on the left there, representing the South. Do we have you over there, Nicole Price? Give a wave of your hand. So meet her afterwards. Representing the Midwest over here is Andy O'Leary. Representing the Mid-Atlantic Ohio Valley is Monica Fuentes. Monica, where are you here? Still over there. She's over. Okay, we're going to be over there. Cesar Blanco is usually the Western political director, but he's out in the West politically directing. So John Bizzagano is over there. That is our team. Thank you so much for being Democrats. Let's not wake up Election Day with bad news. Let's wake up with the best yet to come. Thank you, and I'll turn it back to Eric.